Alright, what's up guys? So Hot Tea has uploaded a video titled Gabby Hannah shaded by her idol, Burnham, plus so much more tea. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. Uploaded a couple of days ago. Yeah, let's go ahead and check it out, guys. Make sure you go show some love and support to Ray on her main channel, which is Hot Tea, her backup channel Ray Rahimi, and her business channel Build Your Pocket. And yeah, and that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. I did open this up earlier.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about everything that happened last week, all of the little stories we didn't get to talk about, so consider this a weekly tea recap or something like that. We're going to be talking about Gabbiehanna again. I know you never get tired of her, more of her response that
It's like, I don't mind the stories, it's just the weird dance. Oh, I straight up, hold on for a second. I didn't realize I forgot that I need to turn my laptop fan off, so give me 1 second. Alright, it should be less quiet, but anyways, yeah, my laptop will get like super like warm at times, and so I turn this, there's like this feature where I can turn this fan on like blasting high, but it is loud. So anyways, but now back to the video.
As well as some of her recent tweets. We're also going to talk about Nikita Dragon copying Trisha Paytas, and there has been some podcast drama with Ryland Adams. But before we get into all of the tea, let me stop you right there and make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn your post notifications on. It really helps out. And give this video a big old thumbs up. Alright, buckle up and let's get into the tea. Let's start off with Gabbiehanna. I feel like she is the new Trisha Paytas for this channel. I know we're not supposed to give her any attention, but like her actions need to be talked about. So what did Gabbie do again? Well, we're gonna look over some of the comments on her new music project. I mentioned in my last video, but it has gotten more and more negative attention. Also, we're gonna look at her more recent tweets, and one of her biggest idols, Burnham, might have shaded her. If you followed Gabbie and all the drama this past month, she was basically putting on this act of having a mental breakdown, coming for people, letting her fans attack anyone who speak badly about her, and so much more. And why did she do all of that? She said that she was working on a docu-series, so we thought, okay, she's gonna...
my thing is like, I really don't care, like, for, what content creators do and stuff. It's just when they use their fans for their own benefit. That's why I'm like, I kind of have a problem with that. I've seen that type of stuff. Like, I've been on YouTube for almost, like, we're over 10 years, freaking 11 years. And, yeah, it's, seeing, like, just people do that to their fans. It's like, they subscribe to you for content. They subscribe to you because you've entertained them in some sort of way. Like, to gather them all up and then to use them to fight your battles, that's stuff I just can't roll with.
Get into drama to promote herself as usual. And then it ended up being a music project. Matter of fact, it wasn't an original song even. She did all of this for a cover of You Oughta Know by Alanis Morissette. The cover wasn't bad actually, but people were really disappointed in her because she caused so much stress to others just for this. Oh, and let's add the fact that she shaded people's reviews because of her name, but her cover barely got 100,000 views in a day. And the like to dislike ratio is pretty bad. 10k likes versus 7,000 dislikes.
That's messed up.
Yikes. I don't think she can pull off the I am shadow banned card anymore. She also changed her main channel name back to The Gabbie Show. A lot of people liked her cover but couldn't enjoy it because of her actions. Here is what most of the comments looked like. The viewer's voice said, "Imagine having to act the way you did for a cover song. Tragic." Hard to appreciate this video when I watched you hysterically cry over not getting enough views and appreciation from us on the last video. Only 87,000 views. Let me guess, you're gonna act like YouTube doing it rather than just admitting that you put yourself in this position. The like ratio speaks volumes. Was the month-long tantrum worth it? And lastly, one user said, "Good performance, but I would have enjoyed it more if she just announced it instead of causing mental breakdowns to get people's attention. Considering how much she talks about her own struggles with it. I felt bad for her last breakdown, but now it's kind of obvious she thrives on other people's pain and doesn't care about how many bridges she burns." And yesterday she...
I guarantee, like, there's gonna be a day either her or... It'll probably be somebody else. I feel like they will be that type of person where it's just all like, well, it's not that serious. Like, I don't think it was that serious, and it is like, it is that serious. So I'm hoping Gabbiehanna will watch this video. Highly doubt that she will, but I hope that she will watch this video. Please, okay, Gabby, do not say that. Do not make it seem like that. Oh, having a mental illness, like, oh, that's fine. Mental illnesses, it's rated E for everyone. No, it's not a video game. You just don't play with it like whenever you want to. It's a serious thing. You have to seek help on that type of stuff. Releasing a cover isn't seeking help. You just out there, you know, you, like I say, you're using your fans, and it's messed up. So, like, eventually one day her fans will realize that, and they just be like, you know, this girl ain't even coming out with content anymore. She's just out here using us for her own benefit. So
things that again are not seen in a very positive light. She talked about how she turns her trauma into art and has spent the last few months turning her tragedies into art. Gabbie also talked about finally being herself and not holding back. Didn't she say that last year too? And in her podcast earlier this year? Some people said that she's trying to victimize herself to gain sympathy after the recent backlash. It's interesting how she hasn't responded to any of that after her initial outburst. Gabbie has stayed pretty quiet about anything.
This is her plan. This is her master plan. You just act crazy and stuff, and then, you know, people won't be thinking about, like, I don't even remember what she was facing backlash for. So I'm like, all I know is that she was doing these weird dances and stuff. So what happened prior before that? I don't remember. So
that has come out of her recently. She tweeted, "I've been so inspired in so many ways recently. I've been unlocking so many paths of creativity that I didn't know I had. I've been writing in the rawest, most vulnerable form that I couldn't get before. My new cares replaced the old ones, and I'm no longer holding myself back. I had planned on putting it out a few weeks ago, but I decided to take a break and take my time. The best advice I've gotten recently was slow down. So I slowed down. I finally organized my house, found a new love for fashion, created moving poetry, filmed a music video, and edited. The thing that's always healed me was creating art out of the things that hurt me. I was never able to create and release on so many situations. I've spent the last few months turning all my tragedies into a work of art. A series is still in the works, but so close to finished." One user said, "Oh god, not the series again. I thought that was more trolling to promote a cover of a song that you butchered with autotuning. You have a lot of people to apologize to." Another user said, "I hope that in this series you also take accountability for the things you did wrong and not only place the blame on everyone else." Bringing the series up again.
I like how YouTube, like, this is what it's became. Like, I remember I got into YouTube simply for the fact of wanting to entertain people, but now all it's about is documentaries, series. Like, I think they're, like, YouTubers are just trying way too hard to, like, compete with, like, Hollywood and, you know, how they be doing series and documentaries and all that, because they know how, like, entertaining that stuff is. But I'm like, okay, tell people that, say that, but I'm like, but find things that's, like, worth be, like, having, like, you know, or, like, have it where it's, like, it's a series, like, it's worth, like, it being a series and stuff. A series on Gabby Hannah is just, like, that's why I watch Hot Tea's videos, because I know I'm not going to watch those videos. So it's no disrespect to Gabby Hannah, but it's like, I didn't follow you for a documentary or a series. I remember I followed her. Imagine, my thing is, do you think if all these things that she's doing now, and she was doing that, like, back in the day when Vine was a thing, do you think she would have the followers that she has now? Do you think she would be in the position that she's in now? No, because people don't, like, people, not to sound rude or not to, you know, like, you know, make, I guess, like, there probably would be some of her fans that are interested into, you know, her life and things, but the rest of us is like, we don't care. We just want to be entertained. Like, I think that still exists in people, but so there, I just think that, like, when a content creator, when they get, like, some certain content creators, when they get big enough, they want to, like, compete with Hollywood. They want to, and it's like, fam, just do your own thing, be your own person. Guaranteed you're going to be much more better than Hollywood. So that's why it's like, because you think about it, she got to where she's at right now because of the content that she used to post back in the day. She didn't get to where she's at right now because of the content that she's posting now. So
cover must not be getting that much positive attention if she's already cruising for drama to get attention again already. People on Twitter are also pretending that she died for some reason. Defnoodle said, "It appears numerous people are posting under RIP Gabby Hannah and sharing posts and images stating Gabby Hannah has passed. However, Gabby has not passed. The image below is just Photoshop.
That stuff ain't funny.
It's gross. No matter who the person is, I think similar things have happened to Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, and other influencers. That
I hate when people do stuff like that.
Seriously, this is not good to be joking around with. But since we're talking about Gabby,
because it's like, if my thing is like, you know, to defend Gabby on this. When people post stuff like that, what would you do if this stuff was actually true? and then you're like, oh my god, like that's the thing. I'm like, I don't like when people when somebody dies, like they're trying to like use their name for like likes or their own benefit, and it's like, fam, people like they're gonna probably follow you for a minute, but after that, like that stuff is gonna die off. So it's like out here like faking people's deaths and things, knowing that they didn't die. Like that stuff ain't funny. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. People don't like that crap because it's like it's obviously it's misleading and things, but at the end of the day, it's like there's no real attention. Yeah, it's like you're gonna be having a lot. I think there's like people when they do things like that, they know that they're gonna get negative attention. So there might be some people that'll fall for it, or they'll like look it up to see like, okay, let me like see if others are posting about this. Once you don't really see nothing, and it's like, oh, okay, well then she didn't die and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I guess if it's been confirmed by like close friends and family, then okay. But if not, then it's like, yeah, people don't listen to people like that. There's people out there who's just only trying to do that stuff just to get a rise out of people.
Yeah, I thought I would add this in. And lastly, Gabbie may or may not have been shaded by one of her idols, Burnham. She's talked about him being her inspiration on several occasions. She's tweeted quite frequently at him as well.
This is the biggest compliment that I've ever gotten, that she called both mine and Burnham's work disappointing. She called Burnham's work disappointing.
In his performance of White Woman's Instagram in his new special Inside, he seems to be throwing some shade at her. Here is a short clip for context.
I'm like, you said this to me without no context of what it means. I'm like, fam, first off, how did you... That's actually kind of sick how he did the pumpkins and stuff. I'm like, I think I would try to do something similar, but yeah, I just be like, what is this? Like, I don't understand. I asked for like funny like dog videos or cat videos of people are like, being overly dramatic when they're slipping and falling and stuff. I didn't ask for a man like in a pumpkin like thingy thing talking about white woman instant. I don't understand that, bro. Like,
some people said that this was a popular trend that a lot of people did, not only on TikTok, where Gabbie got heavily mocked about this picture in particular. The trend goes way back to MySpace and Tumblr days, so maybe Bo was making fun of that, but you never know. Maybe it was towards Gabbie. Tell me what you think about Gabbie and what's been happening with her. Do you think the negative reaction on her cover are deserved? Would you be interested in
I think it is, because it's, you did this to like I was saying, like, with the whole fake and death stuff, but it's like to put it in her situation, you did this to get a rise out of people and stuff. They're not subscribed to you for that. They're subscribed to you for content. Like, if you want to get into documentaries and series and all these other different extra things, you go to those professions. But it's like YouTube, to me, I always will see YouTube as a place for content creators to just be themselves, do the content that they love doing. But it's like when, you're doing stuff like this, like that's like, if I decided that I was gonna start doing videos and be like freaking making chicken noises and stuff in at a farm, like people wouldn't be like, I probably would go viral. Like, I might do some stuff like that just to see what would happen. But it's like people didn't subscribe to me for that reason. So at the end of the day, and I'm trying to defend it. Like, well, I always like to. I'd come out with a tweet talking about I've always wanted to be a chicken. I've always wanted to be a chicken on the farm and crap. People would be looking at me like I'm crazy. So that's how it is with this situation. People are looking at you like you got some issues going on with you, and it's not like mental. No, you're just doing this. It's like a child mentality thing where it's like, you're doing things for attention, but it's like, fam, it ain't even worth it. Like, nobody cares. It's like, as a kid, I guess people would care because it's like it's a kid. But as you get older, when you're like, I don't know, she's like in her late 20s or something, it's like, people ain't gonna, no, they're not here for that. Like, you gotta move on. You gotta, set an example, I guess. But anyways,
watching her docuseries, comment down below. Moving on, let's talk about
I'll watch it. The only way I'll watch it is if you cover it, Ray. So I'm like, if you ain't covering it, then I have no desires on watching her documentary.
Adams. We've mentioned him here a few times about his podcast
series, whatever
and
it's supposed to be.
Dawson, but we haven't talked about him in a hot minute. So what's been going on with him? As you guys probably know, Ryland has a podcast called The Sip, and he is co-hosting it with his friend Lizzie Gordon. They started off as a tea/drama podcast that covers hot topics on the internet, including celebrities and internet personalities. They had a few situations where they were in some hot water for giving Jeffree Star a platform, Shane using the podcast to see how people feel about him, disregarding Trisha when she was bullied by Jeffree and his hair guy, which by the way, he said that he was going to fire him because he doesn't stand by his actions. And shortly after, he said that he still tagged him days later. People thought, oh, maybe it's because it's content shot prior to the Trisha drama and Jeffree still had to tag the hair guy, but nope, Jeffree was working with Hair by Jay again very recently, so there's that. But let's get back to Ryland. So recently, people have noticed that he constantly cuts off Lizzie whenever she talks. He doesn't seem that interested in what she has to say, and in one of the recent episodes, she wanted to plug her movie that she took a part in, and let's just say Ryland didn't come off very happy about that. He started mocking her a little bit. He didn't seem interested at all in seeing her clip, and overall he looked very, very annoyed. And in their latest episode, Ryland was pissed at his fans. He was legit big mad for, try to guess, people wanting longer podcast episodes. I'm sorry, what now? He was thinking that people were attacking him for wanting longer episodes of their podcast. All of those comments were happening because they uploaded an hour-long episode, and usually their episodes are between 30 to 40 minutes long, which is pretty short, I guess, for a podcast. If you are a podcast listener, you know, typically they're at least an hour, because
my podcasts, they always stay short. I be having podcasts, I have to say, like, I be doing, like, short podcasts. If you guys like short podcast episodes, then yeah, check out my podcast. But yeah, I'm like, it's like, I had to do some stuff where it's like, I'll be reading some, like, articles off of, like, Reddit or something, or if I'm, like, talking on something that, like, requires me. But if it's, like, if I'm just talking on some, like, minor things, that's why I'm, like, my podcast, it's kind of like, you know, if you're on the, like, run or something, you know, you just want to kind of, like, just hear my, you know, I don't even know, like, what voice I can compare my voice to, but no, like, people, they've reached out to me, they've told me that they like my podcast, so I'm like, all right, I'm doing something right. I try to, like, make my podcast episodes longer, though. I try to, but if I know that the episode's not going to be that long, I at least try to get it to the 15-minute mark, and then, like, after that, see what other things I can say. Like, I just go along with it and stuff, like, and then once I get them, like, okay, let's see how further I can go and stuff. But yeah, I'm like, it's been a long time, I think, since I've done, like, a long episode.
It's just the type of content that you can put in the background while doing other stuff. For example, Frenemies started off as being 1 hour long, and now due to the huge success and people loving it, their episodes are now 2 to 2.5 hours long. Here are some of the demanding comments that he says apparently are demanding. Finally, a video that wasn't chopped out to 38 minutes when it's a podcast. Wait, I'm loving that it's an hour long. Okay, I'll be back when I finished watching it. Yes, it's finally an hour.
How's that?
Hour-long special. Love it. And here's what he said.
Pretty upset over this past week about the podcast.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What happened?
All of the comments were like, finally a podcast! Not cut down to nothing. And
No, why would you be upset about that? People love us. They want more. I tell you this every week.
It's the aggression in which they approach
It's a comment. You're creating the aggression in your articulation.
They're creating the aggression in the way that they're saying they appreciate a longer podcast. They could just say, oh my God.
How is that being aggressive? Fam, do you understand, like, if I get comments like that, people are like, yes, finally, like, you know, you released this, like, thank you, you know, like, they're appreciating what I just did. How is that being aggressive? I'm like, man, people, they just, it sucks that, you know, that there's people out there like that. I'm like, I guess I can, like, somewhat understand, like, it's just when they come to my channel, they just try to, like, demand stuff, you know, they be like, do this video, stop doing these videos, you know, and it's like, and it's stuff like that where I'm like, no, I'm gonna do the videos I like, you know. If I don't like that video, I'm not gonna, like, react to it or watch it or whatever. It's like, I'm not gonna do that video, I'm gonna do the, so I think that would make sense. But I'm like, oh man, that's a hard one. I'm like, yeah, bro, it's like, if you overall, like, do short episodes, do you finally do that long episode and people are liking that? It's not demanding, that's just people showing appreciation. But anyways,
Gosh, I'm so excited for the hour-long podcast, and instead they're saying, finally a podcast that isn't cut all the way down to nothing. This is essentially a vlog show.
And while he was going off,
you could tell the girl, she was just so like, I regret doing this show with him. Like, I should have stopped after the second, third episode. And like, man, hey, you know what? I've been looking for like, you know, a podcast, like, you know, co-hosting things. So whoever's, I don't even know what her name is. If you need a new co-host, I'll be your guy. Trust me, I'll appreciate whatever it is, you know, because I'm like, fam, I'm struggling to get to, like, you know, freaking the numbers that he was like, what, it was like 38 minutes. I'd struggle to get to that. So it's like, if I could get to an hour and people appreciate that, all right.
On people's comments saying that they were really aggressive, Lizzie was like, wait,
Yes.
You're upset for people wanting to see more of our show? She told him he was taking it the wrong
Lucy,
way
that's
and
her
that
name?
people were excited to watch more content. After that, people were like, Lizzie needs to get her own podcast.
Or
Can
Lizzie?
you imagine this? I get you can be sensitive towards comments, but like, this is not a bad thing. Ryland,
Yeah.
you need to be more appreciative, especially when your fiance is one of the most hated influencers. Even though they have a strong
So
fan base.
it's like, yeah, bro, you are hanging on by a thread. I sure forgot about that. It's all like, you got one time opportunity to make some people upset. What is this? I was like, it's just some freaking like TV show distracting me. I don't know what. Anyways, moving on. I don't know how I got distracted like that, but anyways, you got one time to make those guys upset, and that's it. You done. Like you. So it's like, it's literally like Shane is like hanging on to your waist like this. Like, please, bruh, don't let go. You are hanging on by your pinky right now, bruh. Like, don't do that. Don't do that.
The fact that Ryland's career hasn't been affected that much during this last year, besides the times where he defended Jeffree Star and could take criticism for a minute when his falling out with Trish. But overall, Ryland hasn't been that affected, and his check hasn't been cut at all, and he really needs a reality check to see what people want to see from him on the internet. It's a good thing for him. The attitude and the sass was just too much. Don't be complaining about people wanting more of your content.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you guys think? Was Ryland just too sensitive? Tell me your thoughts down below. And
Yeah,
lastly,
I honestly think he was sensitive. It's like, fam, you know, there's people out there that they don't even have like the courage to have a podcast episode. So the fact that you're doing it, regardless of how long it is, and the fact that you have fans that be commenting and talking about your podcast, that's like more than the fans that I have. I literally have only one person. Yeah, I had like maybe a few people like show support to my podcast, like when I created an Instagram account for it. But other than that, like, fam, I've had my podcast for literally 2 years. I barely see any support for it. So I'm like, bro, you should be happy that you're getting comments on your podcast. I think on my YouTube channel, the last time I got a comment was months ago. So, fam, it's like, appreciate your fans, but...
Talk about Nikita Dragon copying Trisha Paytas. So Nikita posted a video recently called I Was F***ed by a Ghost. People were confused and kind of bullied her for the way that she started the video. Then a fan tweeted at her saying it sounded interesting. She responded, I wish in every ounce of my plastic that this video was clickbait. Dustin Dilly says, sounds a lot like an OG at Trisha Paytas video. Then Trisha responded with this saying, cause it is, showing a screenshot of a video that she posted 6 years ago titled I Had with a Ghost. Then a lot of people were like, is Nikita trying to copy our Queen Trish? Wow, she's really trying to be on Frenemies and stuff like that. If you guys know, Trisha and Nikita had a few fights a couple of weeks ago. They were going at each other on Twitter, and it was kind of messy. So who knows if Nikita was still trying to have beef with Trish. We all know that Nikita only gets attention when she's in a scandal. At least this one is not involving the small windshield mask she wears all the time. I don't know, guys. I think all of this is silly. The title gives a Storytime Tana Mocha vibes tool.
Yeah, I'm like... Because, you know, you sit down and think about it. Was it like, I don't want to ask questions about it because I'm like, that's crazy.
Although Trisha had a lot of crazy stories like that as well, but back in their trolling days. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I guess
like
it can be a trolling video, but
talked about. Let me know in the comments down below. That was it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching.
She probably didn't take the video down, and she's like, yeah, just being petty.
I post new videos every single week. All right, bye.
Yeah, because if it was like, if she stole that whole idea from Trisha, then it's like, yeah, then you just out here being petty. But anyways, Yeah, this is a good video. I enjoyed this. Always enjoying videos from Hot Tea. But guys, if you haven't, make sure you go subscribe to her for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for oh yeah, make sure you subscribe to her second channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. And now make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.